Welcome back to your YouTuber ENC Edumator channel. So this episode, we mainly concentrate on the first unit that we completed, the second unit titled Words and Deeds. So please try to know the title of the second unit, Words and Deeds. Deeds means actions. The work that we are going to do or the things that we are going to practice, that is deeds. Actually, the unit begins with the words of Gandhi. Gandhi says, Mahatma Gandhi says, keep your thoughts positive. We must keep our thoughts very positive. Opposite of positive is negative. So we must make all or keep our thoughts positive. Because your thoughts become your words. Your thoughts become your words. That means what you think becomes your words. Keep your words positive. Remember, thoughts, then words, and also keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. So thoughts are converted into words, and words are just revealing or exposing a person's behavior. So I will read, or I will just say, Gandhi's, the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi's own words, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. So this is very true of each and every human being all around the world. You see, thoughts are converted into what we think are coming out just like words, and our thoughts should be positive, then only positive words will come out of our mouth. And if words are positive, your behavior will be revealed as positive. The theme of this unit is the necessity of symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship means mutually beneficial relationship. Mutually beneficial relationship is described as symbiotic between two different things, words and deeds. Between words and deeds, the unity aims at inculcating the right to values. So as children or as adolescents, you must try to inculcate the right to values through some literary pieces. The first one is the essay titled "And Then Gandhi Came" by Jawaharlal Nehru. And Then Gandhi Came is an essay written by Jawaharlal Nehru, and the second literary genre of this unit is the story Price of Flowers. The story Price of Flowers, that is written by Prabhat Kumar Mukhopadhyay and translated by Laila Ray. And finally, the poem Death to the Leveler by James Shirley. So this unit 2 is comprised of or is consistent of three literary pieces, that is, and then Gandhi came. And then Gandhi came. It's an essay. And then Gandhi came is an essay. And price of the story, the price of flowers. The price of flowers. The price of flowers, and the final one is death to the leveler. Death the leveler. Death to the leveler. So remember, these are the three important pieces comprised in Unit 2 titled Words and Deeds. And then Gandhi came is an essay written by Jawaharlal Nehru. And the price of flowers. The price of flowers is a story written by Prabhat Kumar Mukhopadhyay and translated by Laila Ray. And Death to the Leveler is a story. Death to the Leveler is a poem, not a story. It's a poem written by James Shelley. So first one is an essay, and then Gandhi came by Jawaharlal Nehru. Second one is the story, The Price of Flowers, written by Prabhat Kumar Mukhopadhyay and translated by Laila Ray. And third one is a poem, Death to the Leveler, by James Shelley. Remember, actually these three literary pieces are given to help the learners to imbibe the values of a good citizenship. So since you are learning and you are going to be the youth of the country or the world, you must inculcate certain values of good citizenship. And the second aspect is enabling the learners to acquire strong linguistic foundation, language foundation, that will improve their application of the language in other contexts. The students' application of the English language in other contexts apart from the textbook. This is what about the unit. Now we will go on to let us begin session. So let us begin session is starting with some indicators. Deeds must be an execution of words. What is deeds? Deeds means practicing of what we spoke about. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, was true to his words in his deeds. Actually, Gandhiji practiced what he preached, what he spoke. His life was in fact his message. Gandhiji's life itself was a message for the humanity. In 1939, Albert Einstein wrote thus about Gandhiji on his 70th birthday. On his 70th birthday, let us see what did Albert Einstein say about. A leader of his people, unsupported by any outward authority. A politician whose success rests not upon craft nor the mastery of technical devices, but simply on the convincing power of his personality. A victorious fighter who has always scorned the use of force, a man of wisdom and humility, armed with the resolve and inflexible consistency, who has devoted all his strength to uplifting of his people and the betterment of their lot. A man who has confronted the brutality of Europe with the dignity of the simple human being, and thus all times risen superior. Generations to come, it may be, will scarce believe that such one as this, ever in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth. So let us come back. What is actually the meaning of this? He is a leader of the people. He was not supported by any kind of external authority, outward authority. A politician whose success rests not upon craft. He does not have any kind of craft training, or he does not have any kind of mastery of technical means or devices. But he simply depended upon his convincing power of his personality. Gandhiji had a convincing power of his personality. And also Gandhiji is a victorious, a successful fighter who has always scorned. Scorned means he does not want to accept the use of force. He was against using force. He was a wise man, a man of wisdom and simplicity, humility, armed with the resolve and inflexible consistency, actually a compromising personality, and he always had a consistency in his life, inflexible consistency. He will adapt himself to any situations, adaptability to whatever the situations he comes across. Who actually Gandhiji devoted all his strength and effort to uplifting of his people. He wanted to improve the life conditions and the thoughts of his people and the betterment of their fate, life conditions. A man who has confronted the brutality of Europe. Actually, Gandhiji is a very strong fighter with the convincing power of his personality, and confronted, he just challenged the brutality of Europe with the dignity of the simple human being, and thus all times he was considered as a superior personality. Generations to come, generations and generations are to come, it maybe will scarce believe that such one as this, but it is very difficult, and they will not be in a position to digest or understand. Ever in flesh and blood, such a person walked upon this earth. That is all. Now let us discuss some important questions like is given there. What impression of Gandhiji do we get from the brief description given above? Discuss. So actually from the words itself we can understand that he is a man with the full of graces and also full of positive thoughts and behavior. When you read that one, you can understand that one. That leader of people, unsupported by any outward authority, a politician whose success rests not upon the craft nor the mastery of technical devices, but simply on the convincing power of his personality. These are actually the personalities. Now we will go to the next question. One must practice what one preaches. That is all. Please try to understand. Practice. Practise. That is a verb. One must practice what he preaches. One must practice what one preaches. How far is the statement true of Mahatma Gandhi? That itself, from the very indicators we have told that one. Actually, Gandhiji's life itself was his own message. And Gandhiji put all his words into action. He only practiced what he preached. He only practiced what he preached, and his life itself was his own message. That is what here we are coming to know about this one. Now, another one, Mahatma Gandhi. How far is the statement true of Mahatma Gandhi? That is, we can also select some sentences from. What kind of a fighter is Gandhiji? Actually, Gandhiji always scorned, means he rejected the use of forces. He was a non-violent fighter. He put forward or supported the idea of non-violence, and also he conquered the people with the convincing power of his personality, and also a man who confronted the brutality of the Europe with the dignity of a simple human being, and thus all times being considered as a superior one. Actually, he was that kind of a fighter. He does not want to apply force, who always scorned to the use of forces, and a man of wisdom and humility, armed with the resolve and inflexible consistency, and devoted all his strength. And he was against the idea of violence, and he was the propagator of the idea non-violence. That is what here we come to know. So we have discussed the 3 questions given over there. Now straight away we are going for starting. And then Gandhi came. Actually written by Jawaharlal Nehru. And his lifespan is 14th November 1889 and 27th May 1964. Was the first Prime Minister of India. Jawaharlal Nehru promoted democracy, concepts of political concepts, democracy, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is what we call it as a democracy. Political concepts, democracy. Democracy is actually the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And also other concepts like socialism, secularism, and unity. While adapting modern values, so he was resorted to modern values to Indian conditions. That is a very important thing. While he was adapting himself or adapting the modern values to Indian conditions, Nehru promoted the concepts of democracy, socialism, secularism, and unity. Nehru was a prolific writer, voracious reader, and prolific writer. Prolific means very in abundance he was writing, especially in English language. And he wrote a number of books also, such as The Discovery of India. If you go to library, search for that one. Glimpses of world history and an autobiography. And in 1955, Nehru was awarded Bharat Ratna, the India's highest civilian honor. So from this, we can understand about the writer. And before going to and then Gandhi came, let us go for some difficult words in the section of glossary. Agony. Agony is a, please try to understand some words. Agony. Extreme physical or mental pain. Agony. Agony. Agony means physical, that is the extreme, not a medium level, extreme to the great extent, extreme physical or mental pain. Then derelict, derelict, derelict. Derelict is another word, not properly taken care of, not cared for. Dismal, gloomy. Dismal. Dismal is gloomy, means unhappy mood. Flaunt, that is a verb to show something you are proud of to others. To show something you are proud of to others. That you are proud of something of yourself and you want that to show others is called a flaunt. Then furtive. 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 So what is the meaning of a furtive? Secret. Furtive means a secret. And interloper. 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 Interloper means one who enters or intervenes without a permit. Intruder. Then monster, a creature that is very ugly and frightening. A monster, a giant, just like a monster. Then morass. Morass is a complicated situation, a confused situation that is difficult to escape from. That is morass. Phantom. Phantom is a frightening vision. Phantom, a frightening vision. A vision or a sight which makes us frightening. That is what we call it as a phantom. Prop, P-R-O-P, prop. Prop means support. Quagmire, quagmire. Quagmire. You see, quagmire. 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 What is the meaning of quagmire? Quagmire is actually a difficult and dangerous situation. Ambush. A quagmire. A difficult and dangerous situation. Then repressive. Controlling people by force. So when there is any strike or any kind of hartal is called, then police will be going and controlling people by force. That is what we call it as repressive. Then strangle, to kill by pressing on the throat. That is strangled. So the thief was strangled to death by a policeman. Then threshold, that's no doorstep. Threshold is a doorstep. So these are the important or the difficult words which you must try to know. Then only you can very easily understand and digest the essay. And then Gandhi came, essay written by Jawaharlal Nehru. I hope you have benefited. If you have benefited of this, please try to watch this section with the textbook. In the coming class, we will straight away start with the essay and then Gandhi came. If you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe and share to your friends and get benefited. Wish you all the best. Thank you.